Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Hearts channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot motherfucking topics. If you are new to my channel, hey, my new subbies. If you've been here, then continue to subscribe with your girl. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the thumbs up on the video. Please hit the thumbs up on the video, and let's get into this Dear DJ letter. Dear Deidre, my man and I live together. He is also a father of a 9-year-old. I love little M. Dot. She's a cool kid, but lately there has been a few incidents at mom's house, and Dad feels like it would be a good idea for her to come stay with us. My man never actually went into detail in regards to what the issues are, just that M. Dot would benefit from living with him. Cool, no problem. Little mama has been with us for 6 weeks, and bitch, I'm petrified. It started with what appeared to be sleepwalking. Then she started wetting the bed. Then the most recent thing was she has an imaginary friend named Diamond. Diamond tells M. Dot to curse, steal, and act out in school. Last week when we all went to bed, her father and I woke up a few hours later with her standing at the end of our bed with a pair of scissors. She told her dad Diamond wants me and her to look alike, so she should cut my hair. Deidre, I don't want to leave my man alone dealing with this, but I'm feeling like this is between him, the mama, and their baby. Inserting myself won't help the situation. Not to mention, I feel like I'm not safe here. M. Dot ain't come with the scissors for her father, and I ain't hear shit about her trying to cut her mama hair off when she was over there. I love my man, but I'm not willing to die for him. But I also feel bad about leaving him alone dealing with this. What am I going to do? Sign, do you think this chick needs an exorcist? Oh my God. Let me take a sip of my drink. You stupid. Okay, so I can gather from the story that M. Dot must be the little girl, right? First of all, let me say I think it's a beautiful thing that your man trusts you around his baby girl, and enough for her to come live with you guys, because 9 times out of 10, when you're in a relationship, sometimes people don't always trust folks around their young people. So if he trusts you enough to have you around, love that for y'all, right? Love that y'all have a good relationship. Love that you love the little girl. I think that's very nice. And like you said, I've been with Dad for quite some time. She my little home girl. We know how to make this thing here work, right? Beautiful. New developments on Little Mama. This is scary. This is scary, first of all, because like you said, I personally don't know how to deal with this. This is not my kid. And also because the things that are taking place, one or two of them kind of involve me, and in a dangerous way. So I could definitely understand your feelings where it's like you said in the letter, what you was gonna do with them scissors? Cut my hair? Why not your father hair? Why you ain't cut your mom hair when you was over there? So I get all of that, right? What I will say is this. Number one on the list, I don't remember if you list how old. Well, I think you did. I think you said she's a 9-year-old, right? So she's a little girl. She's a little girl, right? Number two on the list, some of the bedwetting and imaginary friend stuff, I don't really foresee that as so much of an odd behavior, because it's something that young people can do. Number one, with the wetting the bed thing, what I think happens sometimes, this is not in every situation, but sometimes I know it can be an issue with familiarity, right? Familiarity, right? I'm saying it right. Because I know that when you're uncomfortable in a space or you're not used to a space that you have to sleep in, it can cause that reaction from you. Again, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a child psychologist. This is not fact and law. This is just some of the things that I have experienced or I've been privy to by other folks. So I know it can happen, right? Which is sometimes when you're not familiar with your space that you're sleeping in, or you're not happy about that space, or you're not comfortable in that space, then that could be the way your body reacts, right? What I also want to say is that this is new for Little Mama. This is new for little mama. While she probably came and visited you guys over the weekend and probably stayed for some holidays, she is now living there with you guys, and she's been removed from her normal, which is mom house, to over here with you guys. And in all fairness, you may love her, but you're not her mom. And if little girls are very, very close to their mothers, having to be removed from them feels like damn near death. Okay, and I am living proof when it comes to that, because I'm extremely close to my mom. So when I was younger, I would have a hard time when we had to separate. So I could see her body responding in that way, because it's like a level of trauma and stress, because, oh my God, I don't live home with my mom now. I live over here with you guys. I probably don't want to be here, and then you said a couple of things took place over at mom's house. So it's probably some stress around and all of that stuff. The thought process could be, wow, something happened and my mother threw me out. So that's something that could be bothering her. So it's a lot of psychological things that could be taking place with the bedwetting thing. So let's not jump the gun there. The other thing that you talked about was the imaginary friend. Now, I know young people who have imaginary friends. I didn't have any because I had so many cousins and sisters and brothers, so they were all the friends I needed. But I have seen when I was younger, or even seen people have imaginary friends. Right? They have that. It's just like you said, the friend is not technically there. So a lot of times when kids have imaginary friends and they're getting them to say and do things, it's really pretty much some of the things that they want to say and do subconsciously. So I definitely could see where your care and concern comes from, because it's like, so the imaginary friend is not real, but someone is telling you to cut my hair. Is that something that you really want to do? And she might just want to do that because she may be upset that she has to now come here and stay with you guys. Right? So these behaviors that are taking place, trust me, they could definitely be the trauma response to her being uprooted from what she knows, which is her mother's house. Right? Number one on the list is your boyfriend should definitely look into getting her some therapy. Your boyfriend should definitely look into getting her some therapy, and he should look into it like yesterday. Because number one on the list, even if she wasn't acting out in those ways, her whole normal has been shifted and turned upside down. So because of that, it may take her some time to adjust, and you guys may not be equipped with being able to help her do so. So she may need some professional help. Because being told, okay, you're not living with your mother no more, now you're living with your dad, and your dad lives with his girlfriend, and this is a different household. Like, all of that can be different for her. It can also be traumatic for her. And again, granted, she may have even came to you guys and stayed a whole summer. So it's not like, I know what you're thinking, it's not like we don't see this kid and she's not familiar with us. No, she may very well be. But I also didn't live with you guys. So you guys weren't like who I came home from school to every day, who put me to sleep every night. They may have had a routine over there. And that may not be something that you guys are aware of or that you follow. That can be traumatic for a young person. So it's a lot of feelings that a 9-year-old could be feeling with her situation. And because of that, you have to anticipate some act out, right? I have been working with young people for the last 16 years. And what I always say when young people do certain things is that's what young people do. Right? Now, granted, you do swoop in and rectify certain behaviors when you see certain things going on, but you also have to anticipate certain behaviors because these are young people. Young people have not yet learned how to navigate their feelings and how to process them properly, and also how to behave when they're having certain feelings. So at 9 years old, if you feel a certain type of way, you don't just know how to, for the most part, most 9-year-olds yet don't know how to just completely verbalize that. So then you may act up to kind of show it. Right? I'm trying to think of something that I did when I was younger, to get a response. And, again, it was just me trying to learn how to navigate what I was feeling. I don't know how verbal the young lady, how verbal M. Dot is, but she may not be able to just say what she's feeling. And one of the reasons why she probably won't be able to say that is because what she's feeling is probably what won't take place, which is she probably feels like, I want to go the fuck back home to my mother. No shade. Love you, Pop. Love you, stepmom. Y'all real cute, sweet, and nice, but I'm used to being home with my mother. you know? And that could be one of the things that she's feeling. And she could also be feeling like, I don't want to verbalize that because it's already been made clear that now I have to stay here. I don't want to stay here. So that could be something that she's dealing with. Another thing, another reason why dad should take her to therapy, like have her participate in therapy like yesterday, is because, sooner than later, you guys are going to blink and she's going to be a teenager. And if nothing else, you do want her to have the tools to be able to navigate what she's feeling as opposed to behaving in a certain type of way to try to act out and show what she's feeling instead of saying, this is my issue and this is what's wrong. Now, in all fairness, dad can also ask, is there something wrong? But sometimes young people can kind of go into a shell, or sometimes they can feel a little intimidated by having to share certain things with parents. So she may shy away from sharing with him what the real issue is, if there is an issue. Now, the other part of that, right? And I laughed because you said in your letter you're petrified, right? Because the other part of that, I know sometimes we can look at young people and be like, is everything okay? Because once again, certain behaviors could show up that have you a little nervous. Like, listen, are you going to be okay or nah? Right? What I will say is this. Before we go jumping the gun and assuming that something could be wrong, we have to look at what happened. Right? And that's the Operation Heal 100 Hearts mantra. Just in case you guys didn't know, I do not look at what's wrong with people. I look at what happened to them. Right? Because 9 times out of 10, people's actions and behaviors, they come from an experience that they've had, and they now have built a trauma response to that experience and anything that looks like it. Right? So I remember having healing heart sessions with people where as soon as a situation takes place, it's automatic for them to become physically violent. No. I'm gonna jump on that person. It's like I'm sorry. Why are we leading with that? Because in the past, I've had situations where that has been led with on me, and before I wait for somebody to dive on me, I have now adopted the whole mindset of I'm gonna dive on you first. So before I let you get it out, before I even figure out what you're gonna say, I'm just gonna get my shit off first because I'm used to people getting their shit off on me. That's a trauma response to a very, very unfortunate situation. And in those type of situations, when dealing with other people, when people see you automatically become physically violent, they start to say, you fucking crazy. That bitch is nuts, right? And once again, for me, you're not crazy. Something happened. What happened? Which is, in the past, this has taken place, and I'm not willing to allow that again. Right? So most times people have trauma responses to things, and that's the way they act. We don't look at what's wrong with people. We look at what happened to them. So if you want to sit down with your boyfriend along with her going to therapy and even have him, look at her situation overall. Number one on the list, they have not filled you in about what took place over there at the mother's house. And really and truly, I kind of want to say that is your business and it ain't your business, right? Really and truly, they could say it ain't your business because, bitch, it's our daughter. So we don't have to tell you everything that's going on, right? I get that thought process of it, right? But another part of it kind of makes it your business because now she's coming here to reside in this home, and this is also where I reside. So if there is some things that takes place with this young lady or some behaviors that go on and I need to be made aware of, you guys have to make me aware. And even if mom doesn't feel she has a responsibility of doing so, dad should. So when you sit down with dad, you should say, listen, before we even get to what she has done since she's been here or what is even wrong with her or what happened to her, how about we talk about what happened over there? Did mom do something? Did she do something? Was ACS involved? Was a third party involved? Was it something social and emotional, or was it something physical? You pretty much kind of need to get the deets from dad about what happened over there, because then it will also help you navigate how you handle the young lady and make sure it's a safe space for her. Right? So let's start there. Say, hey, dad, I wasn't trying to really get in your business, but it's kind of my business too because I live here and now she lives here. What the fuck happened over there? Right? And again, please encourage him to be very forthcoming with the information and don't hold anything back and don't omit anything from the story, because you not knowing everything doesn't help you. So ask him, I need to know everything. What happened? And in all fairness to him, if it's something that could shed a negative light on his child, he may feel a little embarrassed to share with you, but this is for her safety and everybody else's safety, right? So he needs to. So then it's like, okay, Dad, what happened? Then once he shares with you what happened there, once again, as a human being, you're going to draw your own conclusions in your head, right? You get to navigate what you want to express to him, and you also get to navigate how you want to deal with little mama. Now, I want to be very honest with you, right? If whatever he shares with you scares the dog fuck out you, leave that man's home. I'm not trying to be shady. I'm being very transparent. Leave that man's home. And I only say that because if whatever he shares with you alters the way you deal with his daughter in a negative way, and I don't mean negative like being mean to her or anything, but you may disconnect from her for certain things, that's not going to work well for your relationship. Because that is his daughter, and no matter what, he loves her. So if you disconnect from her or you begin to deal with her any differently than you have normally been because of what he shared, that's going to cause a problem for you and him. So if what he shares with you is too much for you, please leave that man's home. Again, you don't have to leave the relationship unless, that's where y'all want to take it if you move out. But do not continue to live with this man's daughter and treat them a particular way because of who they are or what they've done, because that is going to make the other parent feel away. And your relationship going to be over after that anyway. So you might as well. But in any event, if what he shares with you is not too overwhelming for you and you feel like to some degree you can be of some assistance, by all means, know your limits. Okay? Know your limits. All right? So don't try to tell yourself that you love that dick so much that you're willing to take. Know your limits. If it's too much, be honest with yourself. Right? But if it's not, and you're willing to swoop in and assist with helping the young lady and raising her and residing in the household with her, then you have to do that wholeheartedly. And that's why I said know your limits, because if you don't feel that you can, you need to be honest about that. Because any half-ass effort that you give, Dad is going to recognize that. And that's going to cause a problem for you and Dad. So it has to be wholeheartedly. And you do the best you can where you can, when you can. If there are some places that you draw the line at, you say it to Dad. Listen, I can assist in that area as long as it doesn't get physical. Let's just say that's one of your boundaries, right? So Dad will know, like if you're willing to help out, but then once she starts to become physically violent, you're willing to tap out. Because that's too much for you. Okay. He doesn't have a choice but to respect that. But he can't respect what he does not know. So let your boundaries be clear. Step into it wholeheartedly. And be sure that this is what you want to do if you want to do it. Now, if you don't, if you just can't, if the reality of the situation is, I love Dad and I wish that things were better, but this is not something that I can do or I'm willing to do, you have to say that. What I will say about having a conversation like that is you have to just rip the Band-Aid off. Because if you try to tiptoe around what you really mean, eventually when they figure it out, they're going to be annoyed with you. Like, why you didn't just fucking say that? What are you doing all this bullshit about, oh, you wish that you... No, if you ain't fuck with my daughter, you ain't fuck with my daughter. What are you trying to make it sound good for? You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, they have the right to have those feelings. But at the end of the day, you have to be true to oneself. And if it's not something that you can navigate, handle, or have the capacity to deal with, you have to be honest with yourself and with that man. And in sharing with him, you just say it. Why I love M. Dot, and I want you guys to be a part of my life. It's certain things that I'm not equipped to deal with, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And M. Dot has displayed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I cannot deal with that. And at that point, the ball is really in Dad's court. He can say, well, if you don't want to deal with my daughter, you don't want to deal with me, that's fine. He can also say, okay, got it. Let's see if we can rectify these behaviors. He can also say, okay, we can live separate and still be together. He can also say, oh, you can't deal with my daughter, I'm not fucking with you. Either way, he has a right to feel whatever he feels, but he has to feel those feelings off of what's honest and what's real. And that's what you have to be with him about what you're feeling. Because at the end of the day, you know, it's unfortunate what's taking place with his baby. And I know that's not something you want to see or you want him to deal with alone. But you also don't want to step in and be a hindrance as opposed to being help. And if you cannot help, you have to say that. Because when you don't help a person, 9 times out of 10 you hurt them. I'm just saying. So, my dear, you have your work cut out for you. You have your work cut out for you because this is a crazy situation because of the way you feel about the young lady and all because it's fresh and it's new and you know you love your boo. So, you know, I know it sounds like a lot, but I think that, you know, you guys will be able to navigate this in a way that can be productive for you, your relationship, and also assisting with that young person if that's your choice. And if you can't, right? And if you can and you guys hit a roadblock and y'all like, listen, I don't know what we're going to do here. Come get your Operation Hill 100 Heart session. Come get your Operation Hill 100 Heart session. And I mean, you can get it one-on-one. He can come with you and we all get, and you guys get it together. Do I suggest that you bring the young person? I suggest that you guys seek professional help for her first. Now, granted, if in conjunction with you guys want to incorporate her into healing heart sessions, fine, that's great. I love that. But in the meantime, in between time, I think she should seek professional help because that sounds like a lot for a young person. And I don't want to lie and say that I am 100% equipped to deal with that level. So I want her to get what she needs. Right? So, all right. I think we can work this through. I think things will work out. It's just a matter of, you know, you guys have to do it step by step, moment by moment, day by day. And you have to be clear about what you can and cannot do. Because if you hum a stunt and pump fake and have this man thinking one thing and you do something totally opposite, you're running the risk of effing up your relationship. And that's not what you want. That is not at all what you want. You want your relationship to work. You want you guys to get through this and you want to be there for baby girl. But it's no way for you to do that if you're not being honest with yourself and letting it be known if that's something you actually can do. But in any event, my dear, we will see, right? Oh, my goodness. We have reached the end, right? And I pray. Because anytime it's a situation regarding young people, it always makes me nervous because I do not want to give out, you know, some advice that could hinder anybody, but definitely not young people. I have a soft spot for young people. You know, I'm very much more patient and compassionate when it comes to young people because, you know, they have the capacity to... I'm sorry, I'm looking at a text message. They have the capacity to grow into adults, and we want them to be productive ones. So in any event, ladies and gentlemen, please like the video, hit the thumbs up, like the video. Thank you for tuning in, and enjoy your day.